Okay, let's talk about a trading legend, Christian Quallamaggie. You might have heard the name because he pulled off something that sounds completely impossible, turning a super small account into an absolute fortune. Today, we're going to break down exactly how he did it. $100 million. Just let that sink in for a second. That's where he ended up. It's a mind-boggling number. But, that's not even the most unbelievable part of this story. It's where he started. $5,000. That's it. So you have to ask, how on earth is that even possible? I mean, was it just pure luck? Did he have some secret code?
Well, the answer is way more interesting than that. It wasn't luck. It was a system. And the crazy part? It was a simple, repeatable system that anyone can understand. He just mastered it through thousands and thousands of hours of work. So let's dive in and see what this thing actually looks like.
All right, here's the game plan. We'll start with the crazy returns that made him famous. Then we'll dig into his core stair strategy, how he finds the perfect stocks to trade, how he handles risk, and then we'll get to the real secret sauce, his mindset. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the numbers, because honestly, this is the stuff that makes you sit up and go, wait, what? Get this, from 2011 to 2020, his average return was 268% per year. I mean, a fantastic year for the general market is what, 12%? He wasn't just beating the market. He was playing a totally different sport on a different planet.
But, and this is so important, it wasn't always like that. Not even close. In his very first year of trading, he blew up his entire account, wiped it out 3 or 4 times. So this is not a story about some genius who got it right overnight. It's a story about learning from total catastrophic failure.
So what changed? What did he figure out after all that failure? Well, he came up with a really, really simple way of looking at how markets move. And this quote is everything. He basically said, look, forget all the noise, everything, stocks, crypto, you name it, it all moves in a pattern that looks like a set of stairs. It takes a big step up, then it rests for a bit, then it takes another big step up. His entire job, his whole system, is designed to do one thing, buy the stock right at the edge of that step, just before it makes the next move. So this stair pattern really has 3 parts. Step 1, you get a huge, powerful move up. That's the momentum. Step 2, the stock chills out. It goes sideways, takes a breather, lets everyone catch up. And then step 3, bam, the breakout. That's the start of the next big climb. Okay, the idea of stairs sounds simple enough, right? But with thousands of stocks out there, how in the world do you find the ones that are about to take that next step? Well, he's not just guessing. He has a very strict checklist. Think of it like a 3-part filter. First, the overall market has to be strong. He wants to be swimming with the current, not against it. Makes sense. Second, he only fishes in a very specific pond, the absolute strongest stocks in the market at that moment, the leaders. And third, that leading stock has to be forming a very specific, very clean chart pattern. And this right here, this is one of his signature moves, the high tight flag. It is the perfect example of his stairs idea. You have this massive, explosive move up, then it pulls back in a really calm, orderly way. The price range gets tighter and tighter, and the trading volume just drives up. That's the signal. It's like the stock is coiling up like a spring, getting ready to explode higher again. And you gotta love how he talks about it. He doesn't just say, this is a good setup. He calls it a 7-star setup on a 5-star scale. His point is pretty clear. Your job is to study these patterns so much that you burn them into your brain. You see it, you know it, you act. Okay, so you found this perfect 7-star setup. Now what? Well, spotting it is only half the battle. Making money from it, that all comes down to how you execute the trade. This is where the mechanics kick in. And his rules are just beautifully simple. It's a 1-2-3 process. 1, you buy the second it breaks out of that tight little range. 2, you immediately set your stop loss right at the low of that breakout day. That is key. It means if you're wrong, your loss is tiny. And 3, you sell a little bit after a few days to bank some profit, and then you just let the rest of it ride the trend for as long as it'll go. Now, with a system this powerful, you'd think he's got to be right almost all the time, right? Like 80–90% of his trades are winners. Well, what if I told you his win rate is only about 25%? And that sounds insane. Until you realize the secret sauce. his win rate is completely irrelevant. He could afford to be wrong 3 out of every 4 times because his losses are just tiny little paper cuts. They don't matter. But when he's right, those are massive, account-changing home runs. One winner can pay for dozens of losers and still make him a fortune.
And that right there brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this is the most important part of the whole thing. It's not about the charts or the entry signals, it's about what's going on between the ears.
I mean, think about it. If the rules are this simple, if it's just a basic checklist, why isn't everybody who reads about this system a multimillionaire? What's the real missing ingredient here?
This, 1,000 hours. Quallamaggie says you need to put in at least 1,000 hours of screen time studying just one of these setups. That's the barrier to entry. It's not about being smarter than everyone else, it's about outworking them.
He calls this deliberate practice. This isn't just casually flipping through charts, no. This is about manually, painstakingly going back in time and reviewing thousands and thousands of examples until you've seen every possible variation. That's how you build real, deep, unshakable confidence. And that confidence is what lets you hold on for those huge winners and execute your plan without getting emotional. It's what turns theory into skill.
And this final quote from him just says it all, doesn't it? He says, when people fail, it's not because they lack discipline. It's because they lack confidence. And they lack confidence because they simply haven't put in the work. So the Quallamaggie method, its secret isn't really a secret at all. It's a simple system powered by an elite amount of preparation, which kind of leaves all of us with one big question, right? What are you prepared to master?